What's up, guys? Ready for part two of my little social media training. We just talked about branding, so if you haven't watched that one yet, make sure that you do because branding is the foundation of everything that you do on social media. But after you've been branding and you've been adding value to other people and you become that trusted source that people go to and look to for advice, especially when it comes to health and wellness or whatever your other passions are, then you need to start reaching out, or you do that concurrently anyway, because that's what we do in Arbonne is we ask people to take a look. And there's so many ways that you can do that, but probably over the last 4 months ago, I started reading the book Digital Persuasion. And if you haven't read it yet, please get a copy and read it. It's not very long, but it's chock full of absolutely amazing tips when it comes to reach outs. And it has transformed the way that I reach out and talk to people. And I'm going to show you about that in just a minute. So in the book, let me share my screen with you, and I can tell you some of these tips. So we're going to be talking today about the pub reach out method. And in the book, the author, Erin, talks about how everybody is inundated with just digital messages like crazy in their world on a daily basis, right? So the average person is exposed to in the neighborhood of around 300 messages per day via any kind of outlet of digital media that they use. So email, text, Facebook, whatever, all that stuff, Instagram. And within 10 words, everyone makes basically a decision where they categorize that message into one or two of 4 categories. So they're going to categorize the sender as either a friend or a foe, and then as a seller or a server. And that ultimately decides whether or not we open that message and we read it, and really whether we respond to it. And honestly, what she says in the book is ignoring via digital messaging is the new no. So if somebody ignores you, it's like getting told no to your face. And then it just feels, it doesn't feel great when you're getting a non-response to a lot of the things that you're sending out. And we want to be someone who stands apart. We don't want to be known in Arbonne as copy-paste spam messengers. And Arbonne is really clear about that. We do want to stand apart as different from all of the other ones that are out there, right? So what you need to do is you need to look at your messages and you need to think about the first 10 words in all of those messages. And within those 10 words, could somebody categorize you as a friend, server? Because those are the messages ultimately that people open, read, and respond to. So the question is, are your messages conveying this? And so we do this through a method called PUB. The P stands for personal. So you need to make a personal connection. Do your research. Look on Facebook. What has this person been up to lately? Have they been on vacation? What significant life events have been happening in that person's world recently? And what's important to that person? So whether it's somebody you know well or somebody you don't know well, you need to do your research on them. What do they stand for? What are their passions? That's how you're going to make that personal connection. And then it needs to be useful. So that's what the U stands for. So how is what you're asking useful to that person? What value does your message bring? And then the last one is B, which is brief. Keep it short and sweet. Less is more. And I usually end with interested, or can I send you the details? Something that requires a response. Nothing like, let me know, no run around, straight to the point, and then a question that requires a response, because ultimately what you want to do is engage in a conversation. So they need to respond to you, and then you respond back. So I would be careful about, let's say you're inviting them to a virtual 30 Days to Healthy Living event, for example. I write this quick little message, but then I also put the text invitation or the flyer, whatever, right below it. And when I do that, it doesn't give an opportunity for you to respond and have this reciprocal conversation where you would send something back to them. So I've kind of changed around how I've been doing that recently, and instead I end it with a question that requires a response, and then I follow up with that other information. So I want to show you a little bit about how I used to message. And I want to preface this by saying, guys, I had the best intentions when I sent this message. I am true. I am genuine. I really care about this person. I desperately have always wanted her on my team. And if you're reading it this much on the screen, can you imagine how much that was over text? And looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish this could be deleted from life forever. And that's the thing, you guys, this is in the digital footprint. This is in our feed. It's up at the top, and you can't take it back once you send it. So that's why I hope if you're early in your business, you get moving on this pub method right away so you don't have to make these mistakes. But if you already have, you know what, people give you mercy all the time because we're not perfect. So you can circle back and message in a different way from now on. But it says, "Hi, Julie, how are you? I hope your dad is doing better and on the road to recovery. Such a scary thing. Praying for him. I wanted to reach out to you because you've been on my mind lately. I want to preface this by letting you know I am absolutely not sending this kind of message to a bunch of my Facebook friends hoping someone will respond. So when I tell you that you have been on my mind lately, I truly mean it. Anyway, I've been watching your posts and I have to say you're so inspiring. I love your positivity and commitment to health and wellness. All things I also share a passion in, which is why I'm sending you this message. I'm pretty certain that you have been building a business with a wonderful health. I'm pretty certain that I've been building a business with a wonderful health and wellness company called Arbonne. It may or may not be a fit for you, but would you be willing to give me a few minutes of your time so I can share with you? There are absolutely no obligations. I would just love your feedback. I have some time tomorrow or Monday, and we could set something up via FaceTime. I would love to catch up and see how you're doing. Looking forward to hearing from you." Woo, that's a lot. That's a lot of words, and there's a lot of I's in there. So when you look back at your messages, I want you to take a message and circle all the times you use the word I, because this message, as much as I'm telling her that I'm thinking about her and you, it really is focused on me. So that's the second place where I went wrong. First place, way too long. Second place, it's about me. And then third thing is I didn't ask her a question at the end. There's no need for her to respond to this. I just say, looking forward to hearing from you. Like, I'm leaving it open. And I think some people do this, you guys, because they're afraid that they don't want to be pushy, but it's okay to ask for what you want. You can do that in a nice and loving way. And I'll show you an example of that in just a minute, without giving people the runaround. Because when I leave it like this, it doesn't seem important. Like, it doesn't seem important to me whether she responds to me. And so why should she? Right? So again, how I used to message, hope I never go back to that again. And this is how I message now. So congrats on the break from work and even longer break from school. That's personal. What you do amazes me. So great you get at least some time to focus on yourself more. A really smart thing to do when you have breaks like that is taking time to reset your body to feel and be your best. There's the useful part. I'm sharing some info via Zoom on that tonight. Definitely valuable info no matter what you do with it. Interested in listening in? So, super short. It's not about me at all. It's about her. Okay, so I'm personal. She had posted about being on a break from work. She's a labor and delivery nurse, so she, works long hours. She works nights, and then she's also going to school to get her master's in nursing. So this is someone I've reached out to several times, but I reached out to her with Pub, and I did get a response on this one, and she said yes, she would take a look. So I was super excited about that. But this is a message. I'm asking her a very direct question at the end if she's interested in listening into the Zoom, right? I could probably be even a little bit more direct on that now that I'm, shaping up my Pub stuff. But look at the difference between the last message and this message. If you're inundated with messages every day, which one would you want to read, right? So the question is, does this method work? So I want to give you a few of my very own stats. And I want to say this too, guys, real quick. I carve out my time to do Arbonne at 5 a.m. in the morning. And obviously that's way too early to send somebody a message. So what I want to recommend doing is that you open up one note page on your phone and you write all your pub messages in there. So I have this long note where all my pub messages are. When I think of somebody that I want in the middle of the day that I want to invite to something, I just throw their name in there and then I can write that pub message later on. So I write my messages at 5 a.m. because I work full time and this is when I can fit it in. And then it's super easy because at a normal time of the day when most people are up and out and about, I can copy and paste those into a text or a Facebook Messenger, Instagram message, or whatever method that I'm using, and send it to them. So the work is kind of already done ahead of time. So I just wanted to kind of show you logistically how that could work. And when you have them all in your phone in one note section, you can really look back at what you've done before and see how you've improved or areas where you might be able to grow further. And so I have this long note in my phone, and I put the date at the top when I started, and I started sending these messages on July 1st. So almost 2 full months of sending these messages. I sent a total of 75 pub messages, and that's just based on these text type of messages. So it's not counting my in-person asks or anything like that. And of those 75 messages I sent, 58 people responded. That's pretty good, right? 33 of them said yes to whatever I was asking them for. And then 20 of them said, invite me again, either due to being out of town or scheduling conflicts or whatever. 5 said no, and 17 did not respond. So that's a 77% response rate and a 45% yes response rate. And guys, honestly, I'll take that. I don't know what my stats were before, but it wasn't anything close to that. And so I feel a lot more successful with this method, and it really is something that I have kind of just embraced and is a way that I message from now on. I'm never going to go back to doing it another way because I'm just getting such a better response from it. So I just wanted to challenge you guys to kind of do a little application activity and write 2 to 3 pub messages right now. So here's some different types that you can do. You could do a business ask. You could do a 30 days. You could do an ultimate facial ask. You could invite to an in-person event or ask someone to host. And all of those look a little bit different, but the thing is you're writing a new message. You're actually writing a new message every single time. So let me see if I can show you a little bit more of my examples. Give me just 1 second to pull this up. And I can post this as well, or you can reach out to me and get it. Okay, I'm gonna resume my share here. Okay, so here's some samples, and this is from a Word document, so you're seeing some other things up here, but resume my share. Sorry guys, 1 second. All right, so here's a couple examples. Wow, those glaciers looked amazing. Can't imagine how incredible that was to see in person. Vacations like that really can help reset the mind and soul, but for me, comes with an overindulgence in great food too. Resetting your body when you get back is so important. On Monday night, I'm sharing some info on how to do this and why. Definitely valuable info to learn no matter what you do with it. Interested? Okay, so that's, she had gone on vacation. She was posting all these great pictures of glaciers and all of that stuff. And that is what I used as the personal connection. So let's look at an in-person event, or pub reach out for an in-person event. Loving your post about your marathon training. You go girl, was thinking of you. Want to get great self-defense style workout and learn about healthy living and support local victims of trafficking as they get back on their feet? It's going to be great. Can I send you the details? See how short and sweet that is? And it's asking for a response at the end. Here is a business reach out. Hey, I've been meaning to tell you that I admire how you are teaching your kids to serve others through the projects they did this summer. That's actually what we're all about in Arbonne, serving others and living your best life. I'm sure you've seen on Facebook that I have a business with Arbonne, and I just have to tell you that you would rock at it for so many reasons. Sharing some info virtually on Thursday night. You definitely should take a look to see if it might be a fit for you. No strings attached. Interested? Okay. So then I have some personal tips down here. So I already shared that I write these messages early in the morning, so that's something that you could do. And then after I write every message, I go back and ask myself, am I a friend and server in this message? Is this about me or them? If it's more about me, I change it. And you can start by trying to take out all the I's and me's and replace them with you's. If it's about them, I'm good to go. I also want to ask myself, does this bring value? So if I were them, would I want to answer this and would I want to say yes? You guys got to remember that everybody's super busy, so we have to keep in mind that we're asking them to do one more thing. And so they need to be able to see the value of this and what's in it for them. And then the last question I ask myself is, how can I make it shorter? My goal is honestly to be as brief as possible, and my shortest messages have gotten the best responses. And then my last tip is to keep all of them in that one running note on your phone. So I hope that you guys find this valuable and it's something that you could just take right away and start doing and really transforming the way that you're reaching out to other people and start having some great success like I have had. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to answer with just my personal, how it's been going for me. I'm by no means an expert at this. Definitely read the book, Digital Persuasion, but as somebody who is in the same business as you guys, I'm happy to look at your messages and brainstorm things with you. It does take a while. Sometimes it takes a while to write a few messages, but remember, we're going to send less messages of better quality and get a better response rate. So you got to practice at it. You will get better the more that you do it. And I just want to encourage you guys to start today. Your next message should be a pub message. Have a good night. Bye.